America. America.
You the type I like, my mom. If your hoe ain't dark skin and petite, nigga, she is not my kind. We out here passing hoes to the game. When you treat this hoe like wife, I ain't seen one smoke by the hoe. I told him kill somebody. She keep asking me how a nigga know, bitch, I ain't tell nobody.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Riah Road. I'm basically gonna give you guys the highs and the lows of 2024, starting from January going to December. I'll give you a high and a low of each month, and then we'll wrap it up with a little bow. We'll talk generally about our 2025 goals, and that's what we're gonna do, okay? In the midst of all that, I'm gonna do my makeup. So I already have my eyebrows on. This is a lip gloss that I just bought, so I'm gonna use it. It's an e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil Glimmer Finish in the shade Princess Cut, and it says it's infused with apricot oil. I don't know what my child is doing. Please just leave him alone, okay? If y'all hear that, I'm sorry. I don't know what he's doing in there. I genuinely have no clue. January 2024. What was the high of January 2024? There was like this person in my life who I had cut off because of something they did or exposed me to, or whatever you want to call it, as a child. And so I was mad at them and I didn't want to talk to them, and I was carrying a lot of like resentment within oneself. And in January of 2024, I called this person and I was just like, hey, like, I just wanted to let you know that I forgive you and I love you and blah 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 blah. And it was a great moment, a great coming to Jesus moment. And now our relationship is great, and I really love this person. And I'm just thankful that the bitterness and the resentment that I was holding within didn't end up, you know, winning, if you will. And for those of you who don't know, that is not of God to be holding bitterness and resentment and, you know, unforgiveness within you towards others, because if you want God to forgive you, you're gonna have to forgive others, okay? So it was good to forgive that person. The high was that, you know, forgiving that person. The low was me getting COVID. Getting COVID ruined my life, okay? COVID ruined my life because, first of all, should I say this? My sneaky link didn't want to see me no more because he was worried about getting COVID. And that's so messed up. Like, no, he's not worried about my health or anything. He's worried about getting sick. Okay, you know what? He kind of ate with that. Like, what was he gonna do? Suck the COVID out of my body? Girl, please. So, I don't know. But, yeah, it ruined my life because my sneaky link didn't want to see me no more, which I hate the term sneaky link, but, I mean, let me not call it sneaky link. We wasn't sneaking, because we ain't sneaking. We're not sneaking and hiding. We just not together or nothing like that. We just, child, my friends with benefits. Does that sound better? My homeboy, gang, my squad. He didn't want to see me no more because he was worried about getting sick. And that made me sad because obviously I was having to spend a lot of time alone. And I was just in my room a lot. I was just crying. It was painful. I was sweating. Like I said, I was crying. It was just a lot, child. But after I got better from COVID, girl, I couldn't breathe right. I couldn't sing anymore. I don't know if you guys peeped. I haven't really been singing or doing anything with music because for the longest time, I couldn't breathe. Like, simply put, I literally couldn't breathe. So I just stopped. Yeah, I couldn't breathe to sing. Like, if I tried to sing my song, I couldn't breathe to finish my song. So then it was like, what was all this for anyway? So that was January. How long was that? 6 minutes. Just to get through 1 month. This is going to be a long video. February, I had an unexpected move. That was the low. If I can call it that. So the low of February was having that unexpected move. The high of February, I'm gonna say I started substitute teaching a little bit more seriously. Because of the fact that I had an unexpected move, I started substitute teaching. And I think that that changed the trajectory of my entire life, low-key. Let me not be so dramatic, but it changed the trajectory of what was coming next, which we'll get to that eventually. But yeah, so the low was the unexpected move. The high was I started substitute teaching. The high of March was, I don't know, what was the high of March? I guess the high of March might have been like my birthday and living with my friend. Like I said, I had an unexpected move in February, so come March I was living with a friend of mine, and on my birthday we were babysitting these kids, or like she would babysit the kids, but once I started living there I started to help out with the kids every now and then. And so on my birthday, her and the kids got pizza and they sang to me and they were just kind to me, and that made my day, that made me feel happy. So that was really sweet. And then the low of March was my Grammy passed away. Literally, like, I think like 10 days before my birthday or something. And that was just absolutely devastating, honestly. I feel like I should have been a little bit more prepared, because it's like dementia and Alzheimer's, I believe. And you know, when those types of diseases start to show up, it's like that person isn't really who they were anymore. And I don't really know what the timeline is. From my understanding, it sounds like when it starts, it's like, okay, they're going to be alive for some years, and then once it goes bad, it just goes bad fast. I think that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Please don't quote me, child. I'm a mental health girly. I am not a physical health girly, okay? I don't know all that stuff. So, which, mind you, Alzheimer's deals with the brain, right? So I should kind of know that. But leave me alone, please. Okay, thank you. Anyway, so losing my Grammy in March was a lot for my brain and my mind and my spirit and my soul, because that is the grandparent that, like, I don't want to say I'm really close, but I'm close with my grandmothers, and I spent a lot of time with my Grammy when I was little. So I think mentally it was just kind of like, yes, I knew she wasn't gonna live forever. Yes, I knew she was sick. I wasn't even there for most of the time that she was sick, because I went to college. Once I came back from college, I moved out of the state. So I hadn't really been there, and I think that because I didn't really get to see her gradually go downhill, it was just a lot for me when she finally passed away. So, you know, do with that what you will. And yeah, I was kind of devastated. That's March. April, the high of April was getting my apartment. We're here now. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say the low for April was losing a job that I had, sort of, kind of. I was working at a place, and essentially a situation took place with like the manager at the place, where she basically fired me and told me I couldn't come back. That's the longest story short. Mind you, she was doing stuff that was illegal, that was wrong, that was just, if you knew what her job title was and all that, you'd be like, this girl crazy. But yeah, so I got fired in April from 2 jobs, actually. I was working as a bottle girl at a different place, and I got fired from there in April. And then yeah, so what did I say was the high? Got my apartment. Girl, yes, that was definitely the low. Money was low. Getting fired from those 2 places was low, because in my head I'm like, okay, well, I know I'll have my first month's rent and, you know, what I need for May, because I have these 3 gigs I was working at. I don't want to say which ones, because you should be able to put the pieces together, but I'm not gonna say it. But I was working at 3 different places at this point. One of them was substitute teaching, the other 2 were like serving, bottle girling. So got fired from one, got fired from the other one, boom boom, like within like probably days, maybe a week. And I was really like, I'm not worried about it, God got me, da 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 da. Like, I was super like in my bag with God, kind of, sort of, at that time. So I wasn't really too worried. You guys, I don't know if this foundation matches me, but I'm just gonna try. I'll say the highlight of May was the cruise that we went on for my grandma's birthday. It was really fun. and it was nice to just get away. I definitely got like a little bit, what's the word, anxious, if you will, towards the end of the cruise. I was like, I'm ready to go home. But for the most part, I mean, it was a good time, you know. Like the last like day or two, I kind of started to feel like, bro, I'm tired of not having no service on my phone. I want to go home. Because there's not really, like, unless you pay for the Wi-Fi on board, like, it's not really that great. And I don't know how great the Wi-Fi is if you actually pay for it. I think it's pretty good though, because I think I saw one of my family members watching like Netflix or doing something that I was like, oh, okay, so the Wi-Fi is not so bad. But I didn't pay for nothing extra. I didn't even pay for the freaking cruise itself, because child, I couldn't afford it. My grandma or my mom, I don't even know who paid for that cruise, to be honest, but somebody paid for me to go. Shout out to them. Good looking out. And we had a blast while we were there. I was drunk, I was lit with my family, child. But yeah, so the high for May was going on the cruise. Honestly, I can't really think of what might have went wrong in May. I think I was probably just still dealing with the unexpected move and the loss of my grandma. I was still kind of grieving at that time. I feel like I was just kind of overwhelmed in May. But there wasn't particularly anything that in that moment that was bad, you know. The high of June was going to New York, for sure. That was definitely a high for me. The low of June, getting ghosted by someone that was very important to me. They ghosted me at like a really weird time, and it was literally like the next day, you know what I mean? Like this person, I be trying not to say too much. So basically this person had ties. Like I said, I went to New York in June. So did I say that was the high? That was the high. So I went to New York in June for the very first time in my whole entire life. And I was super excited, super duper duper excited. And so this person that I was in communication with, they had ties in New York. And so they were like, oh, like I have ties in New York for blah, blah, blah. Like I'm gonna hook you up. When you get there, let me know where you're at and I'll tell my people to come see you. I'm like, okay, bet. So I'm all excited, you know, whatever. And just in general, like it's different there compared to like California or even Houston. It's very different in New York. So I was just excited to see everything that New York had in store. And when I got there and I'm texting this person literally, like let's say I texted them on like June 9th, it's like now June 13th or something, and now I can't get in touch with them. I called them, I texted them, and like I think that when I was calling at first it was going through. Eventually it started to like not go through, I believe. And so I'm like, did this person block me? Like not only did they ghost me, but did they block me? Like what the, like what's going on, you know? Kind of stressing me out a little bit. It made me sad. So yeah, that was June. July, my high was just coming home. So remember how I told you guys I was in New York? I was in New York for a job because it was like a travel summer job, whatever. So I was in New York. So I came home from New York, went to another location, which was Ohio. When I went to Ohio, I was on a walk minding my business and someone yelled out the window, N-I-G-G-E-R, and like it just, girl, I'm from California. I've never had that happen to me in my whole life. Like, yes, I know that some racist folks walk among us, but I didn't know that they were racist enough to scream out the window. Like, oh my God. And it's like, you don't see black people so much. Like, it's such an event to see a black person down the road that you have to roll your window down and call them the N-word. Unprovoked. Like, it's not even like I was singing, I was dancing, I was yelling, I was doing anything to gather attention. I was just a black girl walking down the street being black. And I think that that's what grabbed their attention, and that's why they stopped or rolled by and said the N-word. But it was just like, wow, so you really are like racist. Like, you really don't care. Like, wow. And so I don't know, they just hurt my feelings. So that was like the low. And then coming home was the high from that. Not having to be there no more was definitely a high for me. So August, my low was losing my friend. So I had a homegirl who moved from California to Houston. And I was so excited when she came because that's my girl. Like, we went to college together and we were just always really cool. And yeah, you know, that was my girl. I'm not gonna really speak too much on her. But basically in August, a situation happened, which I'm not gonna say I see my fault, but I see why she was upset. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have any ill intentions, but when it got to her, she felt some type of way. And I respect that. I mean, who am I to say her feelings are not valid? Your feelings are valid, girl. If that's how you feel, then it's valid. So, yeah, my intentions versus my impact didn't align, and her feelings got hurt. And she didn't ask me for a conversation or anything. She just basically said, we ain't friends no more. And she didn't even say that. But I don't want to get into the whole details of the situation, so I can't really explain what the indicator was that we weren't friends anymore, but just know we weren't friends no more. And the message got to me. And so I'm just like, shucks, bro. Like, I didn't even see that coming. So the low for August was that I lost my friend. The high for August would be substitute teaching, because in August, is that when? I think so. In August, yeah, because I was substitute teaching actually when homegirl texted me that we weren't friends no more. But yeah, so in August, I had been pretty much relying on substitute teaching for the most part, because I had came home from the summer job. While I was away from my summer job, I got fired from the serving job. So remember, I had 3 jobs. I had substitute teaching and 2 serving jobs. Well, I left during the summer. Okay, before I left for my summer break in April, I had got fired from the other so okay, let me go back. When I was substitute teaching, I had like an extended assignment. So I had got removed from that assignment, and I got fired from the restaurant. So I had got fired from both of those. So when I left Houston in June, I only had 1 job. And so when I left, I told that job, I'm like, hey, I'm coming back. I'll be back at the end of the summer. I do want to still work here. Mind you, I don't know why I still wanted to work there, because it wasn't like I was making any money. But yeah, I was like, I'll be back at the end of the summer, blah, blah, blah. And so they're like, okay, cool, you're good, whatever. I said, I've referred a friend who wants to work here. If you guys want to, you know, add another employee while I'm gone to kind of, you know, make it balance out. But, you know, that's not quite what happened. Okay, cool, whatever. It don't matter. But I had got fired from that job while I was in New York. So a situation happened, which I might do a story time about that, because it was like not that big of a deal, but it can get a story time. So there was a situation where I had got on the phone with the manager while I was in New York, and she basically let me know that I'm fired. And she was like, yeah, you've actually been fired for a while now. I just hadn't told you yet because of the availability. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And in my head, I'm like, it's probably the availability and my sales, because I wasn't really selling anything. Like, I wasn't upselling, you know, like whatever them people wanted, that's what they got. I wasn't in there like, what about this drink? It's really good. And you see my titties? Like, I was not doing the most, okay? I was just trying to get in and get out. And child, that's probably why I'm out now. Because they said, oh, you want to get in and get out? You can stay out. But yeah, they were overworking us like some damn slaves, child. Anyway, so yeah, so that was June, July, August. Yeah, so August, I was relying on substitute teaching a lot. So substitute teaching was probably the pro. The con was losing my friend. So substitute teaching was booming. There was like jobs coming up regularly, pretty consistently. And I was also doing Uber and Lyft in the middle. At this point, I was Ubering and Lyfting for extra money as well. Sometimes when y'all see me continue to dab a spot or something, it's because my face itches right there. And I don't want to scratch my face, so I start doing something else. Oh my god. It's, or like, you know, you can feel like a little piece of hair somewhere on you, but you can't see it. That's what is happening. September was actually a really great month for the most part, because that's when I had found my full-time job. I interviewed for it and I got hired officially like September 24th, I think. So at the end of September. But I had started substitute teaching at the school in September, like early September, maybe even mid-September. And then I got the interview and then I got the job. So that's what happened in September. That was the high. The low in September was, remember I said in June I got ghosted? Well, by September, Lord, okay, now we gotta go back one more month. So in August, I had got a little lit with my friend. That isn't my friend no more. Shout out to her. I still love you, girl. I don't care what you say. I still love you. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, and that's my bad. And I didn't mean to make you think I was up to no good, but I really wasn't up to no good. Like, girl, that man is safe, I promise you. Well, not safe, but from me. You feel me? Let me just be quiet. That's why it's wrong with you now. You talk too much. But anyway, my girl was having a rough day, and I said we're gonna have a mental health day then. So while she was at work, I think she was at work, I went and I got us some stuff so we can have like a girls' night, whatever. You know, we're gonna live our best life. We're gonna vibe. Yeah. So went to the store, got us some stuff. Okay, cool. So after work, she comes over, blah, blah, blah. We drinking, vibing, whatever. Now, it gets to a point in the night, mind you, pause. Remember how I said homeboy ghosted me in June? I didn't realize it really hurt my feelings. Like, I had been in denial about my feelings for this person for a while because when we met, he said he was Muslim. I said I was Christian. And I was like, well, there's no point of even trying to make something shake because I'm not marrying a Muslim. I'm just not. And so we had already decided that like nothing's to come from this. Which if you meet someone, side note on the side note, if you meet someone and you guys decide that you are not for each other, don't dip your toe in the water anyway. Because then you look like Boo Boo the Fool when it's a year later and you still with the same fool. Okay? All right, y'all. Anyway, so like I said, in June, homeboy had cut me off, right? Really hurt my feelings. Okay, cool. So fast forward to August, me and my homegirl are having this mental health night, whatever, and vibes are vibing, everything's going good. At some point in the night, I am lit as a tit, okay? Lit as a bit, lit as a jit, lit as a kid, lit as a, I don't know. I was having fun with that. I was lit, okay? And so I was like, oh, let's call somebody that blocked me, my ex, da-da-da. Basically, I wrapped it up to her in a bow. He was never my ex. But I wrapped it up to her in a bow so that I can use her phone to call him. So I call him up on her phone because I was like, I just want to see if I'm blocked. And so it starts ringing and I'm like, I'm blocked. And so like, she's like, this is her cousin, da, 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 da. Like, we were just playing on his phone for a little bit. Then eventually, like, it got real. And so he figured out that it was me because I like exposed it was me. Because at first, girl, like I said, I was drunk. Please leave me alone. Drunk and childish, I know. So we get on the phone with him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't reveal it to me at first, then eventually I do reveal it to me. Then once I reveal it to me and I'm telling him like, you ghosted me, da 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 da, he downplayed me so hard, y'all. He was just on some like, man, it was giving like, man, watch out, like we was never nothing, da da da. That's basically what he did. Hurt my feelings even more. And so, mind you, now I'm crying, drunk, crying, and I'm just like, no, because you really hurt me, da, da, da. You know, I don't even remember what I was saying because I was literally lit as a tit, lit as a bit, lit as a, I was lit like a candle tip, like a wick, lit like a wick, okay? No Nardo. So I am just like, you know, crying or whatever. I'm trying to tell him, and my friend's like, Mariah, like, let's hang up, like, abort mission. I don't think she knew the same way I didn't know. I don't think she knew that I was actually hurt about this man. Like, baby, I was hurt. Like, it was giving like, my daddy walked out and never came back hurt. Like, I was hurt. My dad came back. My daddy never walked out. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I love everybody. Please. We get off the phone or whatever, and I'm just like sad, whatever. But after that, I kept drinking, and I'm like, let's go get, girl, the night was a drunken mess for me, okay? But that's beyond the point. So that's August. So I had called him on that mess in August. So fast forward to September now. Remember I said my high was the substitute teaching. Okay, cool. My low was he called me back on my own phone. mind you, when I see the phone number that's calling me, because at that point, after he played me off to my friend like I was nothing, I was lit that day, but I remembered that. So the next day, I went, and mind you, during the time that he ghosted me, he was still watching my stories on Instagram, and that was really bothering me. And so eventually, I don't know if it was after that conversation with my friend or if it was before that or what, but I'm pretty sure it was after that conversation with my friend. I blocked and unblocked him off of Instagram so that we can unfollow each other, and then I deleted his number on my phone. So fast forward to, like I said, September, I get a call from a number, and that area code was familiar to me because, like I said, I had just came from New York, and the area code he had, it's like that, what side of the world is that called? It's not the north, right? The East Coast? I don't know, whatever that side is called. It was one of those area codes where I was like, is that an East Coast area code? Like, I wonder if it's someone that I met while I was away for this job calling me. It didn't register that it was him, is what I'm trying to say. So I answered the phone, and I'm like, hello? And he's like, Mariah, what's up? Da, 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 whatever he's saying. Mind you, I know his voice. Like, I know his voice. So he calls me, and I'm like, I'm gonna call him Carter. So I'm like, Carter, what do you want? And he's like, I was just checking on you. I can't check on you. I'm like, I'm fine, Carter. And he was like, okay, like, how you doing? How you been? Blah, blah, blah. You called me the other night. I was like, I was drunk. And he's like, okay, like, I'm just, you know, he's trying to be all playful and cool. And I'm like, ain't nothing cool and playful about the last conversation we had. You hurt my feelings. Like, I'm not gonna give you guys the details of what he did to hurt my feelings, but if it was you, your feelings would be hurt too, child. I promise you they would. Unless you're not like me, then maybe they wouldn't be. But my feelings was hurt, okay? So I'm like, I'm fine. Thanks for checking in on me. Something like that. And I like hung up on him because I was pissed. And so then I had blocked him, I think. Y'all, I think there might have been 2 instances that took place, but I might be putting 2 things into one, okay? Please just pardon me. Now I gotta give y'all more details. So basically, I can't remember how long after the drunken call he called me, but just know, like I said, he was blocked, da, da, da. So I can't remember if this was before or after, because I'm trying to think, did I block him twice, or was that the initial call? Okay, y'all, so I don't know the time. Okay, please forgive me, but I feel like it was 2 different conversations, but I'm not 100% sure. Please just leave me alone. But from my memory, if I'm not mistaken, it was like when that situation happened in August, he might have called me before August was out, and then that's when I hung up, blocked him, whatever. Now fast forward to September, he messaged me. Remember I said the high was getting the substitute teaching into a full-time position. Cool. The low was that situation coming back up. So basically, he was blocked since August from me. Mind you, like I said, the conversation I just talked about where I'm like, Carter, I was drunk, da-da-da, whatever. That situation, I'm pretty sure that happened, and then I blocked him after that. But don't quote me, because I don't have my receipts for that. But I have my receipts for this. So from there, like I said, it's September now. I hadn't got my job offer yet, but anyway, so I'm minding my business, I'm living my life, and I have a message on Instagram, and it was like, yo, that's what it said, yo, in the DMs, and it went to my request. So I see this message, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? So mind you, it's some hood. So I'm like, who this? Like, he think I'm fine? Like, he must want to, he want to call me Big Mama, period. So I'm just like looking like, who is this? And so I get a message, and it's like, yo. So I respond, and I'm like, yes, or I put question mark. And then they sent me another message, and it was like, oh, this is Carter, or this is Carter, or this is Carter's friend. He was trying to get in contact with you. And I was like, question mark, like, for what, you know? And then I was like, is he okay? Mind you, side note, backstory. backstory. He is a street, okay? That's the best way to put it. So when the guy messaged me, at first I was mad. Then I'm like, oh my God, did something bad happen to him? So then I'm like, is he okay? And that's why the guy was like, yeah, he's fine. He's just trying to hit you up. I'm like, okay. And so I had texted back, and I was like, because mind you, the person who is messaging me on Instagram is taking a cool minute to respond, low key. So now I'm like, come on, hello, like, you're making my anxiety bad. Like, is he good? Is he not good? Like, what do y'all want, you know? So he's responding, he's like, no, he's good. And I was like, okay, well, I was like, I unblocked him. If he wants to talk to me, like, tell him to call me. And so then the dude messaged me back, and he was like, what's your number? So I sent him my number. Mind you, I'm like, why you don't have my number? If you block me and you just unblock me, then there's my number. But did you block me and delete me? Whatever. So he calls me, and he's like, Mariah, what's up, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, hi, Carter, whatever, we're talking. And I'm like, honestly, like, you really hurt my feelings. Like, with what you did, you really hurt my feelings. Like, whatever. This man gonna say, so we're talking, and like, I'm trying to express myself. I feel like the conversation did get a little bit heated. Not really 100% sure, I can't remember. But I just remember at some point in the conversation, like, I was telling him, I'm like, Carter, I really don't think you understand, like, the hurt and the pain that comes up when I talk to you. Like, you really hurt me. This gonna say, well, f it then, block me again. Boy, you are toxic. Cause what you mean? You supposed to be like, Cinnamon Apple, baby girl, you so beautiful, girl. I'm sorry that I hurt you, girl. No, he said, fuck them, block me again. So whatever. Anyways, all of that, girl, that was a lot. All of that to say, we made up. Okay, we made up in September, but that was the hard part. Because I was still acting like I don't want to talk to him. So that was September. So money got like really bad in October. Mind you, I got the full-time job at the end of September. But teachers get paid monthly, if you didn't know that. Well, some teachers. I know my teachers, the ones for my job, we get paid monthly. So because we get paid monthly, you get paid once a month. And then you got to make that shit shake. Like, shake it like it stole something. No, shake it like a salt shaker. Shake it like a salt shaker. Yeah. Shake it like a salt shaker until you get your next check. Okay, cool. That would be great if your girl was a money management queen. But am I? No, I'm not. So I was stressed out because I never got a September check because I started the end of September before the cutoff for payments. And then October's check wasn't coming until October 28th. That was a problem because rent is October 1st. Mind you, I would substitute teach every single day. But during the time that I was interviewing for teaching jobs, I missed some days to substitute teach. And then when I started substitute teaching and I started to get onboarded for the new job, and I started the official job September 24th, that was a whole week of not working any substitute teaching jobs. And I used to get paid weekly substitute teaching, excuse me, to now getting paid monthly with full-time teaching. So when my rent came for October, I had missed, let's say I missed a week of teaching, of substitute teaching because of interviewing, and then I missed another week of substitute teaching for the full-time job I took. Well, because I had 2 weeks of no pay, by the time my rent came, I only had, like, let's say $400 of it or something like that. So I'm trying to set up arrangements with the lady at the office to pay it late, but she's saying that basically I have to add these late fees on. They take off my my leasing bonus, or what is it called, my leasing benefits. Like I had like a you know, they're like a promotion. They had like a promotion when I moved in, like, oh, you do this and you rent, whatever, you get this amount off of your rent. So they took my promotions away for the month, and she did all that. So by the time the fees added up and stuff, she was like, okay, so you have to pay this amount on this date, and then like 5 days later you pay this amount, and then like 5 more days later you pay this amount, and then on the final day, like the 15th or the 23rd or something, you pay this amount. So the money had added up, you get what I'm saying? So I was like, shit, like, how am I gonna afford this? So I'm crying, I'm stressed out. I'm really just trying to make something work for myself, because my thing has always been, if you move out of your parents' house, don't make them pay your rent, because at that point you could have just stayed in their house for free. That doesn't cost them anything. Well, kind of, sort of. Yeah, so I was just kind of like trying not to have to ask my mom for anything. And so one day we're in church and I'm just breaking down. She's like, what's the matter? And I'm like, I'm just really stressed out about money. Rah, rah. I'm just crying. And so my mom's like, calm down, you're good. Like, we'll help you out. You're gonna be okay. So my mom helped me out. I'm like, thank the Lord for that. And then, yeah. And I think I say that's my high and my low because I was thankful to know that I had a mother who was willing to do that, or I have a mother who's willing to do that. But it was a low because I was just really stressed out financially because, like I said, I went from having money coming in every single week to now I'm waiting over 30 days for a check. So that was really tough for me. And then another high, I guess that'll be the low. The high of October was that I wasn't expecting, because the deadlines for the payments, it's like you work, let's say you work October 1st through October 30th. The cutoff for that paycheck is going to be like October 24th or to October 28th. So when you get your November check, it's the dates you worked in October. So in September, when I started on September 24th, the check they were getting at the end of October was going to be from September 1st to like September 28th or something like that. So technically speaking, I only had 3 or 4 days on that check. So the check was going to be tiny. Well, I don't know how it worked, but I got the full amount of my salary for the end of October. So that was a blessing. That was a huge blessing, and that was the high of the month. The low of the month was my mom needed to pay my rent, but low-key was also a high for me. So that was September. No, that was October. My bad. October. November. What was the high and low of November? I think that the high was my siblings and my family flying in for Thanksgiving. It's probably the high. The low might have been just trying to get up on time for work every day. Because at that point, it was like, oh man. Like, getting up for work was getting harder because I'm also in school, and it could just be a lot trying to manage everything. So that was a lot at that point. So just like trying to manage school and work was the low. I like this, but my brown lip pencil kind of took away the, I mean, you can still see the shine, but I think that it just kind of destroyed. There you go. I just had to add some more so that I can get the shimmer vibe. But yeah, so that was the high and low. Waking up on time for work and getting there on time was the low for November. The high was family time with my sisters. I say the low was also getting too lit on Don Julio and throwing up. That was another low. Child, them Houston clubs seen enough of me. I'll tell you that much. I don't want to go out no more. I don't. Mariah, you want to go? No, I don't want to go. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm gonna go, but not every time. Anyway, I'm such an old grandma lady. I don't like going out that much no more, but I will go every now and then. Anyway, November. Okay, now December. What was the high and what was the low? The low was the holidays. I was so depressed on Christmas. I was so depressed on New Year's, kind of, sort of, or approaching New Year's. I was just feeling really sad because I'm not gonna get into it too much because this video is already super long. I already know, but holidays used to be really, really traditional and typical for me and my family. Once I moved to Atlanta, everything changed. Once I moved back from Atlanta to now to Texas, everything still isn't the same because no one lives in the same state anymore. So now it's just like really different for my family, and it's taking a toll on me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know about everybody else, but it's taking a toll on me. I really don't like it. And then so that was the low, holiday depression. I was supposed to go to Vegas with my sister cousin, but then something went left. We didn't get to plan everything how we needed to. We didn't go to Vegas for New Year's. And then for Christmas, it was just different. Like, I went to go see my mom for a little bit, and then I came home because it just didn't feel right, and I was just sad. So yeah. So that was pretty much that. That's the low. The high is this 2-week break. Bless the Lord. Love being a teacher for that reason. These breaks, the weekends. Chef's kiss. What they be doing? Yeah. So love that for me. Great for me. Very much needed. What else was another high? Another high of December was all of the love and gifts and support that I got from my teachers, from my parents at my school. I got so many gifts, I got so much support, so many people showed up for our holiday party. It was just a lot of support, a lot of love. So that was definitely nice to see the support that me and my students have. So yeah, that was pretty much that for the highs and lows of 2024. Now, real briefly, I'm almost done with my makeup too, so that's perfect. But real briefly, we'll get into what is the focus for 2025. Honestly, my main focus for 2025 is going to be daily time with God, no matter what. Because I just feel like when I am talking to God regularly, and even like in your Bible, it'll kind of tell you the same thing. But when I'm talking to God regularly, I just feel like that's when my life actually goes good. Like, that's when I feel like things just go a lot smoother. And, you know, things just go off without a hitch. Go off without a... Is that the term I'm looking for? Go off without a hitch. I think that is the term, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, that's pretty much the goals this year. Is like just talk to God every single day and really just push myself out of my comfort zones when I can, because I'm not a super like I'm a comfort zone type of person when it comes to social stuff, but I don't really have a lot of comfort zones in that. I will go out by myself. But I want to work on like more business stuff, more music stuff, more creative stuff that I feel like, oh, I don't know, I don't want people to look at it, and I don't want people to hear my singing, and like all that paranoid self, what is it called? Negative self-talk. I don't want to deal with that anymore. I just want to go for it. So I think I'm going to really try to do more of that this year in collaboration with the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, that's the plan for 2025. God is the plan. What is the plan? God's the plan. God's plan. Okay, we already got to get through 4 years of Donald Trump's ass. I don't know what America, I don't know what we got going on, child. I really don't, but we gonna see, child. I mean, my faith is in the Lord, so we gonna be all right either way. But boy, I hope that Donald Trump does not continue to empower people who want to do hateful things in his name, because that is just, I always will say that. My problem with Donald Trump isn't particularly Donald Trump himself. My problem with Donald Trump is the people he empowers, because then the people he empowers who get all hyped up about some of the crazy stuff he says, they start acting a fool January 6th or ring any bells. So yeah, just gonna be quiet on that one. YouTube, please don't take my video around. I don't know what the rules are. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to finish up my mascara, do some setting spray so I can give y'all a cute little outro moment, and we can get this show on the road. Frick, I forgot I have homework due tonight. She looks like a dolly. Let me take my clippity clips out. Y'all, what if I just, it was a wig? What would you say? Like, would you actually believe me if I was like, yeah, so I got this wig on site. Does it give wig? Oh, I don't have no earrings on. Shucks. Hold on, y'all. So this is the final look. I don't know. So this is the final look. Anyways, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed my 2024 highs and lows, as well as my 2025 baby goals, mini goals. And yeah, your girl's trying to fight her way back to YouTube and be in the algorithm and do all the things. It's been a really hard last couple years for your girl, but I'm trying my best, okay? So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, double tap, triple tap, everything, period. Love you all. See you never. Bye. Oh, Alexa, stop music. Where's the other clip? I know I put another clip in my head, but where is it? Ouch. What's up? Bel Air? What are you doing?